Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another episode of Craftmas. How are you? I hope you're doing well. And I have a very fun project for today. I want us to make junk journals from junk mail envelopes, and the theme of these junk journals is our beloved Edith Holden. I think most of us love her work. I know I do. And yeah, so I wanted to show you how you can make super easy and fun junk journals, basically from those junk mail envelopes that I think most of us are getting in the mail. These are window envelopes, and this is what we are going to be doing today. So let me just show you. So I have this collaged cover of my journal, and behind the window, so this is the window, I have an image from Edith Holden book. Then there is some collaging, there is some cheesecloth here under this label, and there is also collaging on the back and stitching. Then we have a closure, and it opens up like this, and inside we have this magnetic pocket thing, that I made from another book page. So it opens like this. We have some scraps of papers that can be, you know, torn and used for collaging and for decorating the journal. We have this long, narrow vellum pocket with just a little tag or journal card that goes in there, and this is, like I said, it's magnetic, so it closes nicely. Then we have some coffee stained pages, and I used some of the images from Edith Holden to just add a little something to those pages. And there are also some of the book pages here as well. So another image here. It just is such a nice, quick and fun project, and I would think perfect for a Christmas gift, or perfect for a gift for any paper lover. We have this beautiful image in the middle of the signature, and the strings I left long, so they are beaded, and I added some charms, and they can go up as well if you prefer it. Then we have some more images, more coffee stained paper, book page, and then on the back there is this it's a tag spot. Let me show you. There is this large tag spot, and yeah, so this is our project for today. I hope you will join me, and let's start. So let me show you first what book I'm using. So of course I'm using Edith Holden, but I'm using a soft cover version, which is smaller. Like, I think the larger version is more tall, like this would be, but this is what I could get. It's also in German because I couldn't find anything decent priced on Amazon when I was looking for a copy of Edith Holden. So I took this soft cover German version, but it has the beautiful font and also, of course, the beautiful images, so I'm very happy with it. And also the size is just so perfect for like journaling cards and tags and anything, so I really like it. But of course you can do the same thing with just your regular sized Edith Holden, or any other book, really. Any other book you like. So then I have some junk mail envelopes, and I just want to show you that you can really use any sized envelope. So you can use those tall ones like I did here, or you can use big ones, or you can use smaller ones. It will work with anything you choose, with anything you prefer. So I'm going to go with the tall one. I want to make another journal just like this because I love this size. It's so portable and it's so nice in your hands, you know. So okay, so the first thing that I'm going to be doing is Where is this open? Is this open anywhere? Yeah, I'm going to be opening my envelope on 3 sides, so I want it open here, here and here, and so it opens like a journal cover. So I'm going to do it with my paper cutter or paper trimmer, and I'm just going to slit it here and also on top here. And my envelope was already open on the bottom, so now I have this. And I also want to think about what I want to do for the inside, and I've chosen some papers that I may want to use as the inside cover. So let me just measure them roughly. So these would be about 20 centimeters and a little bit, or in inches, about 8 inches. So this is how tall I want to cut my my envelope and my journal cover. So I'm going to about 8 centimeters, about 8 inches, or 20 centimeters tall, and that's our basis for our cover done. So you can already see how we are going to be constructing this. Now, what I want to do next is I want to choose an image that will go in the window. So I'm going to flick through my Edith Holden book, and I'm going to just take my window and look for something nice, something that I would like to actually see in the window, you know. So you can check out a bird. This bird, I want it to fit in nicely. This one is very cute. We could definitely use this one. But how about, I already have a bird here in this one, so maybe actually some flower. We have some gorgeous flowers here. I love this. I love this so much. I never get like bored or, you know, tired with Edith Holden illustrations. Oh guys, I think I'm going to go with this, with the butterfly, the clover I think it is, and the daisies. So yeah, this is the page I'm going to choose, and I'm just tearing it because these pages are actually glued. They are not sewn into the spine of this. So yeah, so it's just easier for me to glue them. And now I just want to kind of mark where I want to cut my my page, so that I have the part of the image that I like somewhere here. So I'll cut this. I would just like to salvage as much of the remaining image, sorry for shaking the camera, as possible. So maybe I'll just go like this, and like this, yeah. Okay, so I can still use this butterfly, this text, and a piece of this greenery. I also have nice text on the back. So even if it's in German, and I don't speak German actually. Oh, and we have the Junie. And I don't speak German, I still think this font, the text is just so beautiful, and it adds a beautiful touch to the project. Okay guys, so I'm going to glue my image straight on the back here, so I'm just going over with my wet glue like this, and I'm going to just glue it here, making sure the part of the image that is relevant for me is shown. And oops, I did have some glue here, but that's okay. Can clean it. Let me just grab some. I should have some wet wipes somewhere. Okay, I have that. So I'm just going to clean the glue from my desk here and also from my window. And that's okay. So this is the very first step, choosing the image that goes in your window. And it's not going to be like a window cover in the sense that, of course, this is like one piece, you know, it's covered on the side. So, but still I think that having it behind this plastic window thing, it just makes the difference in texture, it just looks really interesting. So that's what we have here. And what I want to do next is I want to use some scraps, like you can see here, scraps of just different papers, and collage here and make something interesting. So I already have, I think, yeah, I have some scraps here, so maybe we can use those. I have some music page, I have some printables from tailor-made journals, and I have some AmityBloom wallpaper. And I actually think it might look nice because there is some pink on this image here. So maybe I'll use this. And I also want to use what we have remaining from our book page. And because I'm not like I don't want my lines to be super straight, I'm going to, if I can find it, yeah, it's here. I'm going to be using my tearing ruler to just tear away the pieces of the images that I want. So I want this butterfly for sure, to put it somewhere on the cover. So I'm just going to be tearing on all 4 sides of it, just to get rid of the straight edge. That's how I like it. If you prefer to keep your edges straight, that's absolutely fine. It's totally up to you. And it's just for this project I chose to go with this. And I'm thinking maybe I could also use maybe some of this, but we will see. So I already have a piece like this, almost tore. Okay, so now we have it torn on all edges. Maybe this long strip would work as well. So I'm just going to tear some pieces, and then I'm going to be placing them on my cover and seeing if I can use them, if I actually like them there. So first I just want to have some choices, you know, something to choose from. I really like this Junie, but it's so thin already. I don't know if I can tear it without ruining it, so I'm going to attempt it, but oops, no, I already... Well, it could work, so we will see. So we have the Junie. Okay, so we have some of these pieces and we can tear these as well. So let me just see what I want to do here on this cover. Could have this kind of as a line here, and I'm thinking some music paper. So I'm just going to take a piece of this. And maybe I could put it here. What else could we have? We could have some text maybe. I'm thinking I want to use the whole piece of this, so let me tear it as well. Like with those plants that we have here. Oops. I need it on a flat surface, like this. Yeah. This is a bit wonky here, but it does not matter. It's fine. It's okay. So the text could go like this to the other side, to the front, because my spine is going to be here. Then I could add some of this text, perhaps. So this paper is from Tailor Made Journals, from one of her French papers, I believe this is. Then I would love maybe to have this one here, and this one could go here like this. Then I'm thinking I want this beautiful flower somehow incorporated as well, so I'm going to tear around it, and I'm going to see where I can place it. So we could definitely have it placed here, like that. Now I'm thinking more of this text. Just a narrow strip that would go here. What else? Some music. I would love some more music here. Like this. So it could go maybe like this. Something like that. So this is just a loose composition. I'm not too attached to it yet. We have our Junie, which we can use later. Okay, what else? We also have some of this ledger. So I could also use a piece of this maybe. This is just so fun, guys. As always, I really hope you're crafting with me. This is just tearing some papers and just this is so relaxing. This is so relaxing. Maybe like that, and then we can see what we want to put there. So I'm also, because you know me, I'm also going to be inking the edges of my pieces. Not this one, because so the outside sort of edges we are going to I think I will use this as my gluing help. Okay. So of course, now that I'm gluing everything down, it's possible that my composition or my initial idea will change, but it doesn't matter. It's more, what I did here is more, I wanted to see what papers would work together well. Would they work together well? And can I use them together, you know? So that was the purpose of me sort of pre-planning my collaging. Now I can go ahead and glue things the way I believe that they look nice. So I'm using, as always, or as usual, my vintage photo from Tim Holtz. And this one I think I wanted here. Yeah, and then this perhaps here. Could be. Yeah, I like it here. So I'm just using my glue stick because some of these papers are very thin, like these I printed on just regular copy paper, and I wouldn't want my wet glue to warp them. Okay, I like it. Now we could go ahead and add this one here. Or actually, before I add this one, I think I'm first going to add this this piece. Yeah. So how are you guys? How have you been lately? I honestly, I've had a couple of tough days and just, I don't know, I felt a little bit down. So I kind of when I feel like this, I try to limit any pressure that I might put on myself. So I've had this project, one of my custom orders. I have just a couple of custom orders left to make for my customers who ordered from me when I was still taking the custom orders. And so I wanted to film the whole process, but I felt so down and so, I don't know, just not so good that I decided to actually give myself a break, and I decided not to film my process, and just I kind of shut myself in my craft room for like 2 days or 3 days, and I was just crafting and I got it finished, and I will have a flip through for you soon, and I'm super proud of it. It's like, it's it's the biggest, it's honestly the biggest junk journal that I've ever made. So it's a full like A4 size, which is very close to your 8.5 by 11. Maybe like this, yeah. Which is very close to your 8.5 by 11, so it's huge. And I have to admit, I was putting off making this journal for a while just because I saw it as a challenge that I wasn't certain that I could, you know, I wasn't certain that I could make it, and that I wasn't sure what I want to make. So I was putting off making this journal for the longest time. But one day, surprisingly, when I was feeling down, I just woke up and I was like, you know what, I actually feel so inspired today to make this journal. So I decided to start working on it, and honestly, I'm so proud of it. I'm super proud of it, guys. I'm so happy. You know what, I don't want it like this. Maybe like this here. I'm just super happy with how it turned out, and it kind of helped me get my mojo back. So ironically, the journal that I was so afraid to make and so afraid to mess up kind of gave me my mojo back, which was just so awesome. So there are, yeah, I'm very proud of it. I can't wait to share it with you guys. I truly hope my customer will like it, because I love it. I really love this book. I love all of my journals. It's just, like I said, I've been feeling a bit like in a slump, and this journal gave me my mojo back, and I'm so inspired now. I just want to create more and more and more, which is an amazing feeling. So I'm very happy with this project. But I could not do much more than just sit in my room and craft, and my room was like a total disaster in a way that you really like could not take a do I want this? Maybe a little bit of music up there. Yeah, I think so. So I'm just going to tear it. So yeah, so you really could not take like 2 steps in my room during this past week, because everything was all around me. But I was happy, you know, I was happy because I was surrounded by all the things I love. And even though like a regular non-crafting person, let me put it this way, would probably be horrified with the state my room was in, I enjoyed it. This was how it was supposed to be for me. Okay, I love what we have here. Oops, sorry. So let me cut off the extra edges, the edges that are sticking out of our cover, and let's see, do we want to add any more layers? Do we want to add any more interest there? What do we want to do? Or do we just leave it as it is because it's gorgeous? So it's always like that for me. I can't see how my collage is, like I can't see if I like it or not unless I cut off all the extra edges and I see it in its whole form. Okay, Okay, so this is what we have, and I honestly love it. I love it so much. Let me see when we fold it, how it's going to look. And this is what our cover looks like. I love it so much. I love it so much. Yeah, I really do. I really do. Okay, so tell you what, guys. I'm not going to add anything else, like in terms of collaging. I will just add a little bit more glue here to make sure this little piece does not come off, because it's kind of in where the cover folds, so I just want to give it some extra security, but it should be fine. Yeah, I love it. Now I'm going to ink up all the edges all around this. And I'm going to think if I want to add a label. I have a label on the other cover. I'm not like super certain I need one here. I added one to the first cover because I just had a perfect spot for it, a little bit of a blank spot where I could put it. But if it's too busy here, I'm not going to be putting a label. So it's just a piece of decoration for me on this cover. So if it does not fit, I'm not going to place it. And I have some Tracy Fox labels here, so let's just see if anything fits here, or if we just leave it. I'm very tempted to just leave it the way it is because it's so pretty. I don't know. What do you think, guys? No, I don't think I'm going to add a label to this one, but if you like, this is how one with the label looks. I added some cheesecloth here, and as you can see, I just had this blank spot here where I only had music paper, so that's why I thought it fit. Now for the inside cover, I'm going to glue down this part that's kind of sticking out. And for the inside cover, I want to cut which piece I would like here. I'm thinking maybe this one. It's so beautiful. Well, all of them are. These are from AntiquePaperie, but I'm pretty sure that they are from one of her retired kids. So I bought like a bundle. She has some bundles sometimes in her shop from like her old kids. So this is where I got this one. And yes, I think I'm going to go with this. So let me quickly snip off the white edges. And you can use one piece for your inside cover, like I'm going to, I think, be doing here, or two separate pieces of paper. It just depends on what you like. So you can use two separate pieces, cut to, you know, one here and one here. Okay. Is the height okay? Yes, it is. I'm going to have to trim it a little, but that's absolutely fine. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and glue it like this. Glue it like, I love this blue, the pink. Oh, it's so beautiful. We will cover some of it with our magnetic pocket, but you can still see it peeks out from underneath. So let me just add my glue here, and I'm not too careful about the edges because I can add more to the edges later, and I'm also going to be stitching with my sewing machine all around the covers. the front and the back separately, but I still want my piece to stick here, so just make sure, especially the inside. Like I said, the edges, we can always go back to them and add more glue, but the inside should be glued properly. Okay, and now I'm just going to place it. Make sure I'm not too high, I'm not too low. Okay, like that, I'm thinking. Yeah. Now I can use my bone folder to make sure it's glued all the way to the edges. Yeah. I love this cover so much. I think it turned out so beautiful. This piece is from AmityBloom, from her wallpapers, and it's just so pretty. So I think it next to, of course, Edith Holden, it's what makes this cover really. It's just so gorgeous and so vibrant. I printed it on matte photo paper instead of regular copy paper, which gives it this vibrant, beautiful look. Okay. We are all good on this side, and just a teeny tiny bit on this to snip off. Okay, let me move this. Okay, so this is what we have inside. Isn't this just so stunning, guys? I think it is. So now I can fold my, where's my bone folder? Where did I put my bone folder, guys? I don't know. Where did I put it? Okay, oh, it's here. I put it back. I'm just going to help myself a little bit here on where the creases is supposed to be. I just want to make sure it folds nicely, nothing comes off. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Perfect. So, oh, this is so pretty. So one more thing is I would like to reinforce my spine, and also so I'm going to add some lace like I have here in the middle, but what it also does, it hides my magnet. So as you can see, guys, my little magnet is hidden here and in that tab, so it's, you know, so it allows me to have this magnetic closure without actually having to kind of have it in your face, so to speak. So I want to add some lace, and I'm just looking around me. I had this nice piece of lace. I was thinking of using the same as I did for the other cover. Yeah, I think it's going to look really nice here. And of course we are covering the image, but I'm not worried because we still have so much beauty going on here. And these are digitals. I can print them again and use the image that I'm covering now for something else later. Okay, so I'm going to glue it with my wet glue this time. It's just going like this. Then again, as I usually do with fabric, smooshing it with my finger. And and making sure it's kind of straight. I don't really see where my crease is, but I just want it kind of straightish. I think that's going to be fine. I can cut off the excess now, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine in a sec, and I'm going to, yeah, I love it, it's so pretty. I'm going to stitch all around my front cover and my back cover, and I will be back. Okay, so the cover is stitched all around. I chose this fun stitch that I really like. This is what it looks like, and in the inside I also inked up the edges. And now we want to make our fun magnetic closure pocket. So I chose another page from my book, and I chose this one because it has some pink on here, because we are going to be folding it in half. So I just wanted some pink on my sort of cover of the pocket. So I'm just folding it like this. And if you don't have this small book like I do, you may need to trim your page. But as you can see, I just have maybe a 1/4 of an inch short from the top and the bottom, and also, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch from this side. This is where we are going to be putting an eyelet for the closure. So you want to keep this space. For your eyelet. Okay, so now in my prototype I have this pocket, and I have this little scrappy notebook, which I love this idea, and also a tall long pocket here, and a tab, which is where my magnet is hidden. So this is what we are going to do here, guys. First of all, inking. Yeah, I want to ink it up. This side is sadly going to be glued to the to my cover, so we are not going to be able to see it. So make sure you choose a page that you are not too sad about losing part of it. I'm sad about losing this beautiful flower on the other side, but I had to choose something, and yeah, so I chose this. Just very quickly adding some definition to those edges. All right. Now I want to make a tab, and what would I make my tab from? This one maybe. It could look nice with the colors. I could have it like here. So I have a tab punch, but you can also use a die, or you can just kind of cut your tab with your scissors. Just make sure it has 2 parts, because in between here is where we are going to be hiding our magnet. So now I'm just going to take it to my tab punch. I think this one is from, yes, from We Are Memory Keeper. We Are Memory Keepers, yes. And it's perfect. I love it so much. I love this punch. Got it on Amazon. So I'm cutting, or punching actually, my tab. And I really love it. I love both sides. Of course, inking. And the magnets that I'm going to be using are those cute little flat magnets. So one of them is just like this, So it's very, very small and very flat. I got them in a local craft shop, but I'm sure you can get them online. You can get them really probably anywhere. So let me see. Do I want this side of the tab or this side? This kind of matches here better, but maybe this one. So this is going to be my front. So I want to take one of my magnets, and they already have some double-sided tape on them, so I don't have to use glue. But of course, if you need glue, just glue them down. I'm just peeling off the backing here, and I'm going to be, if this is how my tab is going to be, I'll just open it and I will glue it in the middle, but kind of in the top part of the tab, right like this. So you can see that it's kind of in the middle, but also like closer to the top of my tab. This is how I want it, and I am just going to use my wet glue with it, and I'm going to glue it to my pocket now. I also want it kind of in the middle, not so much that I would measure it, but I'm just eyeballing it. I just want it, yes, kind of in the middle. Okay, so there is that. Now, for the inside of this, I would like to add the scrappy notebook here, so I'm just going to take some of the scraps of papers that we have used for our collage, and I'm going to tear them and add them to my notebook. So these aren't really for writing on, but of course you can if you would like, but I'm making them as a sort of like a tearaway notebook, so that you can take pages from them and use for collaging, for decorating your journal pages and whatnot. And I also want them, like here, I want them sort of different lengths and different widths, so that it adds interest to my page. So I think I'm going to take this one next, maybe here. And I don't think I am going to ink the edges this time. You can, of course, if you prefer. Okay, so I have this one. I need something sort of in between them. So I could take, yeah, I do have some just regular coffee stained paper. So this is what I'm going to use here. And how long do I want it? I want it longer than this, but just slightly. So maybe like this. And it can also be wider. Yeah, maybe a little narrower, just so I make sure it does not stick out from my notebook. Okay, so we have 3. We could use some of this, perhaps. This is such a beautiful paper. Where do I want to tear it? Here, maybe. So nice. And some music paper, why not? Some vintage or even an antique, I think it is. Music paper is just so good for everything. Or we could also use a little bit of the, oh, maybe, yeah, I think I'm going to go with this, because it matches the tab, so it's going to make a nice fun addition to our notebook. so wonky. Oh, this is so wonky. Okay, maybe that's better. Yeah, I like it. So in a moment I'm going to stitch it to my cover like this. And for this side, I want to make a long and narrow vellum pocket. So I have a piece of vellum or a tracing paper. And I'm going to measure how wide my pocket can be to fit in here. And it can be 6 centimeters by, let's say I want it maybe tall like this, by 13. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a centimeter to how wide I want my pocket, so I have folds. And I'm also going to add half a centimeter, so about 1/4 of an inch, to the length of my envelope. So if my envelope is going to be 6 centimeters wide, I'm going to cut it at 7. And then I want to have 13 centimeters tall, so I'm going to cut it at about 13.5. And you will see in a second why. Now I'm taking my little scoreboard, but if you don't have one, that's okay. You can just fold these, you know, by yourself. So I'm just taking approximately half a centimeter, and I want to make some score lines. So I want to fold here, so my pocket becomes a little bit expandable, I would say. There is some more space in it than if we just went ahead and glued a piece of vellum directly to our paper. Okay. Now we have all those score lines. I hope you guys can see it well. And I'm going to take my scissors, and these little squares that we have here, I'm going to cut them off, but kind of diagonally. So I'm going like this. So I have those little triangle shapes here where my folds are. They don't have to be perfect whatsoever. And I'm doing the same here, so I'm cutting it kind of like this. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to fold them along those lines that we made, and just scoring it makes it easier. You don't have to do it, it makes it easier. So I do have this little scoreboard. It's actually part scoreboard, part envelope punch board. It's a nice thing. I love using it. It comes from a brand DP Craft. I think it's a Polish brand. And so you can see here, this is how our pocket is going to look here. Now, of course, I want to ink it, but first let me take my circle punch. This is like a, I don't know, maybe an inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch just a tiny like notch here, so it makes it easier to take things from this pocket. I'm just messily going around with my vintage photo to again add some definition so that you can actually see it on the page. Now I'm going to take double-sided tape, and you can use wet glue, you can use glue stick, whatever works best with vellum for you. I think for me it's double-sided tape, and I'm going to take and I have this very thin double-sided tape, which is great here, and I'm going to take just pieces of it because I don't want to go with like one long piece because I feel I could mess it up. So it's easier for me to just tear it into a few smaller pieces like this, and I can navigate kind of my double-sided tape better. So I'm only putting the tape where my scored edges are, or folded edges. A tiny piece here as well, I think. Cool. And with that, we can peel off the backing of the tape and just stick our pocket to the page wherever we want to. I kind of want it in the middle, so that's where I'm going to put it. And if some of the tape is sticking out from your envelope, you can just fold it back like this. A little bit here. Like that and like that. Perfect. Now trying to be even, sort of. Yeah, love it. I love vellum. I love using it, and you can barely see the double-sided tape beneath it, so double-sided tape is a great adhesive to use with your vellum. So let me stitch my notebook and I will be right back. So here is our pocket. I really like how it looks. We will make a little journaling card to go in here. This is my scrappy notebook, some fun pages to tear away and to use for decorating the journal. And now, before I add the second magnet here, I want to just stick my pocket, because this way I can be sure I have my magnets perfectly aligned. If I just go ahead and stick my pocket first. So I'm using double-sided tape again, just because it's so fast and very strong, very secure. So 1, 2, and oh, come on, 3. Cool. And now let me just put it, and again I'm making sure I have enough space here to put my eyelet, and I also want it to be as close to the lace as possible, because the lace is going to be covering the second magnet. So maybe something like this would work. I can pull this from behind. This is very nice, very pretty, I think. Okay, now the second magnet is, I'm going to, I think I need one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you can see I attached, or it attached itself here where my other magnet is. I'm going to peel the tape, or you can add your glue now, and I'm just going to close it, take away this lace, close it like this, and this way my magnet will glue, or will be stuck in the exact place where I need it. So this is the exact place I need it. Now my lace is beautifully covering it, and I have my magnetic pocket. So this is just so fun. I love them. I just recently got those magnets and I love making things with them. Okay, so now just a quick little journaling card for our pocket. So let me see, I want some illustration that would look nice on a tall and long pocket, card, that is, card or a journaling tag, maybe this, because it looks nice with, oh, but I don't want, oh, sorry guys, so I was thinking about this, but then I don't want to lose this one, so let's keep looking. These poppies, I think, are my absolute favorite illustration from from Edith Holden. What could we use? What could we use? How about I actually go back to the bird? Oh, maybe this. Maybe something from here. Yeah, maybe that's okay. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure to make sure how large or how tall and wide my card can be. So in my case, to make sure it safely fits into the pocket, I wanted 5 centimeters by about 12.5, and this is how I am going to cut my paper. So 5 centimeters is somewhere here, by about 12.5 right here. I'm saving all the scraps, of course. This is cute. I'm going to mount it on a piece of here, coffee stained paper, and stitch around it. And what I'm also going to do is I think I'm going to use just a scrap of this lace to make a little tab for it, and I'm also going to stitch it like this. So yeah, if you are not stitching, absolutely just glue your page, back it with coffee stained paper, cut around, and you can staple or glue down a piece of fabric or lace, but I want to stitch. Now, isn't this just the sweetest little journaling tag? I love it. So you can add it to our pocket like this, and a little bit of lace is going to hang from it, and I love it so much, guys. So we could also probably make some tack spot here, so you don't have to do it, of course, but since I already have this piece of Edith Holden, I think I'm going to just tear around here like this, and do I want it with the text? Maybe without this here. Yeah, I think I like it. I'm going to use my tear ruler to get rid of these edges, these very straight edges, to just add a little bit more interest. Now ink around the whole thing, and you can again stitch it. You could stitch around it to add a little bit more interest, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to attach it straight to my page, so it will make a nice tack spot for some more ephemera. And again, I'm just going to use my double-sided tape because it's so quick to attach it. Like this, making sure it does not stick out anywhere. And I think I want to have the stitching visible, so I am just leaving a little bit of gap here. And again, we are probably going to have our eyelet somewhere here, because I want the eyelets for the closure to be sort of in the middle, but it doesn't matter because we will still have the functioning tack spot, whereas on this side, if we put an eyelet here through this, we wouldn't be able to open our envelope, so that's why we have a larger gap here. Okay, so now for the pages. So for my pages, I want to use mainly coffee or tea stained paper, because I want this journal to be kind of simple, maybe a writing journal or just you know, so the owner can decorate them themselves. But I also want maybe a couple of book pages from Edith Holden, because, well, it is an Edith Holden journal. So let me see what I have here. This foxglove is also my absolute favorite, but I'm not using this here because I feel that it would be just perfect for a journal cover. So I'm going to leave this one for now. But we could have this maybe for like a middle of the signature. And what else? This one maybe. This is so beautiful. Yeah, so maybe this one for like a page. And then we will also add some decorating. So what I'm going to do, I have these two and I have just a bunch of coffee and tea stained papers. I'm going to measure how large I want my pages to be. So, sorry, I'm doing it in centimeters. So I can see, like, I want my pages to go here at maximum. I don't want them to stick out of the cover. So I can see my pages could be about 10.5 centimeters, or about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 inches. I don't know, sorry. But anyway, you can just see it visually. It's best because you probably have a cover different size than me. And then so 10.5 centimeters, and then slightly shorter than my page, and that would be 19 centimeters for me when it comes to how tall I want my pages to be. So I'm going to cut the height first. So 19 centimeters is what I want to have, and then 10.5 centimeters times 2, which is 21 centimeters. And I have this nice piece that we can use for something else, for some journaling cards. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. 19 is how tall they will be, and 21 or 10.5 centimeters is how wide I want them to be. And I think, yeah, I have four of these. 21 and 19. So you can use as many pages as you want. You can use different pages. You can use book pages, like more book pages. You can use more like lined pages, ledger paper. You can really use for this journal anything you like. I wouldn't make them maybe too bulky, but then again, if you like bulky, then why not, right? So here is how I'm going to just fold them in half, making sure I'm folding the right way. Okay. These are so pretty, so grungy. These are coffee stained with some plastic doilies, some plastic lace. I have my pages. I have my 2 book pages as well, like this, and this I will fold this way because I want the image on the inside when we open our signature. Now I can decide which page I want to go first, and I'm thinking maybe this one because it's beautiful. Then I will have my book page, for instance. Then I can have these like that, and my beautiful middle of the signature. So let's see if it fits our cover. It fits perfectly, nothing sticks out. If something sticks out, not to worry, you can just trim it to the size that you need. And now I'm going to be stitching it into my cover using a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So if you've seen any of my previous tutorials, then you would have seen this process already, but if you're new here, what I will use is, just let me, I have my material, so I have my needle, I have this thread, this is linen thread, I have my awl, which is this pokey tool, and I have a book through which I poke holes. It makes it easier. Now I'm going to align my, so I'm going to take my signature out. I'm going to make sure all the pages are aligned and all the pages are where I want them to be. So if you want, you can move your smaller pages the way you like. I prefer mine to be kind of in the middle. Now I'm putting it into the cover again where I want it to be, so not too high and not too low. And I'm taking this big paper clip or bulldog clip, and sorry guys, and I am just going to clip everything together. Now for the 3-hole pamphlet stitch we need 3 holes, and if you want them to be exactly like one in the middle and these 2 exactly on the right and left, you can make yourself a template. Just make yourself a piece of paper, the exact size of your signature, mark the 3 dots, so 1 in the middle, 1 above and 1 below. I'm not going to do it because I don't need them to be perfect, so I'm just eyeballing where I think my middle is and just putting my awl through the pages and the cover. Now I'm going to make 1 hole down here and 1 up here, and I'm totally eyeballing it because why not, right? So now I'm taking my thread and I'm going to take a long piece, so at least 3 lengths of your cover, because I want my strings to be long, to come from the cover, and I want to add some beads to them, as you saw. Sorry for shaking the camera. As you saw in the example that I made previously of video. So now I'm just taking my needle and I'm trying to thread my linen thread through it. Okay, so we have our needle and our long string here. Now I'm going from the inside through the middle hole, and I'm going to make sure I leave a long string hanging here. Now up through the top hole and through all of my pages. Okay, all the way down through the bottom hole and here outside. Oops. And back through the middle hole, just like this. And here you have your 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It's very secure. It's a great way to bind your books, your signatures. So now this is the point where I am kind of making it tight. So I'm looking here, making sure my strings are tight, pulling it not too hard because you don't want to tear your pages. Still, it's paper, of course. Now I'm making a double knot like this. And here it is. Here we have our strings are long. Here we have our cute signature all stitched in. The journal is ready to go. Beautiful piece in the center. I love it so much. I really love it. And our tag spot here. So now I just want to add a little bit of interest to my strings here. So let me see what we can do about this. Maybe a charm. I love this little rose. We have roses here, so it will be perfect. And a couple of beads as well. So this one maybe, because we have some nice pinks. I love this gold one, and maybe one that's going to be maybe a different shape. Just one like this. I think so. And again, you can use as many beads and as many charms as you please. Okay, so I did it off camera because I kind of needed my head a little bit closer and I couldn't do it with the camera. But here's what it looks like. I really like them. I really like the delicate decoration that they add. Now what we want to do, we have two last steps to do here. First, we want to decorate our pages a little bit, and since this is an Edith Holden journal, we will use an Edith Holden book. So I was thinking we have this gorgeous flower that we could use. I'm just looking at my scraps if I have anything else from Edith Holden that I can use. But we can just go through here and find maybe just a couple more small images. Well, they don't have to be small, of course. Ooh, I like these. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with these three. So now I'm just going to tear around them. If you prefer, you can absolutely cut them out, fussy cut them. But this way it's quicker and also less regular. And we have a lot of torn edges in this journal, so I think it just keeps things cohesive. So I just want a few images. I'm going to just ink around them and I'm going to stick them on my pages, just like a little decoration. Of course, if you are in the mood for more elaborate collaging, you can add more layers. But I think I just want to show you the simplest, the quickest way to make a junk journal from a junk mail envelope. And this is it for me. This is it. These little images will add a beautiful touch to our pages. And you don't need anything else. So all this you can do, you know, with one junk mail envelope, one book, a few book pages, a few printables, and just a few papers to stitch into your journal. So I just think it's so perfect. I love quick projects like this, and just so fun, you know, just so fun to collage a cover like this, to add little fun pockets. So I am inking around, of course, you don't have to do it. But this way it will make our images stand out more from our tea stained and coffee stained paper, which I like and I want for these images. And now I can just go ahead and use some of them in on our pages. You can use as many as you like. You can decorate all of your pages. You don't have to decorate any of them. There's so much that you guys can do with this tutorial, with this project that I am sharing with you today. You can totally customize it. Maybe I want one here. You can totally customize it and make it your own. maybe one here. And one there. And the last step is the closure, and it's so simple. We are going to make a very simple closure, but it's one that I love making, and I make it in most of my journals. So soft cover, hard cover, all of them. Okay, I think that's perfect. So the closure, we are going to be making holes in our cover front and back. So I'm going to measure. So my cover is about 20 centimeters, so I'm going to measure and mark with a pencil where my middle is. So it's 10 centimeters for me on the front and 10 centimeters on the back. And I'm taking my crocodile, making the holes, and here in this case I just want to make sure I'm not making the hole too far away, too close to my pocket. Yeah, see? So I have a hole in the cover and not in the pocket. Now I'm taking some eyelets, and I'm going to use these fun flower ones. I get them on AliExpress. Put them here through the holes and close them with my crocodile. Just like that, and one on the back too. These eyelets are slightly larger than the holes that my crocodile makes, so I kind of have to use a little bit of strength to get them through, but here they are. I love it. And now we can choose a ribbon to go in, and I'm thinking maybe this pink one. It's the same one that I used for this journal, but it just matches so perfectly. I don't want the closure to overwhelm the busyness of the cover that we have. So I'm just going to go with this very pale pink, and I'm choosing a long piece like this, folding it in half. So this is going to be for the front. Oops, cut through. And now I'm going to have pretty much the same long piece for the back. Here I'm folding them in half again and just going to go through my eyelet from the inside, from the outside, sorry, and through this loop I'm just taking my strings like this. So this is a very simple way to attach your closure. Now the same thing I'm doing with the other piece, again from the outside in and through the loop here. And now I can tie a nice, a nice bow here and keep my journal close. And because we have those strings quite long, you can really like add a lot of bulk to this little journal. Okay guys, so the project is finished. I love it so much. I love it. So here's just a quick recap on what we did. We did our cover. We have an Edith Holden image in the window. We have beautiful collaging on the back, our closure. Then we have our magnetic pocket here, and a little journaling tag in the vellum pocket and a little scrappy notebook. Then we have our pages with some collaged images. So just a nice selection of of pages. We have our beads in the middle, so you can use them like this, or you can take them all the way up and have them dangling here, which is nice as well. Some more collaged images, and we have our tag spot on the back here. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for crafting with me. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I will see you very, very soon in the next Craftmas video. Bye!